Get in here, get in here, get in here. Get in here, guys. The lighting is terrible, but we're here. Clean face, no wahala. No makeup today. We gonna go live. I told you guys I'm on an atomic building challenge. So I thought twice before coming on here today, but I did. Clean face, no wahala for y'all. And what are we going to talk about today? Today we are going to talk about how do you show up? How do you show up? Where you're going, how do you show up? When you go to work, how do you show up? I used to be the kind of person I used to argue with other people. I'm like, no, you should be accepted just the way you are, and people should want you for your brain or what you have to offer, not how you look or how you're dressed. Life has taught me. Life has taught me dress how you want to be addressed. Okay? Before you go haywire on me, hear me out. Okay. Some people can afford not to dress up. Some people can afford to. The Mark Zuckerbergs can afford to just wear a silly little t-shirt. Sorry, Mark, I'm not calling your t-shirt silly. Those t-shirts, they say they actually cost like $300, and he has a lot of them that are the same color, gray. Make it make sense. But when you have money, you can do whatever you want. Okay. But what I'm saying is some people can afford to not dress up. Your CEO of whatever company you work at, they can afford to just show up with a t-shirt and whatever, but you can't, because you don't have their kind of power, you don't have their kind of influence, you don't have their kind of money yet. So how can people take you seriously? How can people take you seriously? Or some people can afford not to dress up, maybe because they look a certain way, maybe because they are very young, maybe because they are very beautiful, maybe because they're a different kind of race. And they can't get away by not dressing up. But unfortunately for you, my friend, you can't. You need to dress for where you are going. For me, it always helps me. I have a vision of where I am going or where I want to go. I actually created an avatar. I create with AI these days, there's nothing you can do. Her name is Easy E. She has a power suit on and she's going somewhere. She's in these rooms. She's on boards of big companies, okay? Easy E. And so every time I'm walking out my house and I'm going to an event, I think, what does Easy E look like? How does she smell? How does she sound like when she talks? You know? Because that's what's going to get you into these rooms. Because you don't have the influence yet to get into these rooms because of your name. So that's why you have to look a certain way. If you go up in there looking all scruffy with clothes not ironed, hear me out. I'm not even talking about go buy new clothes. I'm just talking about wash your clothes, wash your face, take care of your face. A little makeup goes a long way for us women, you know. I will never forget my former pastor in Nebraska. We're still in touch actually. I'm just calling him former because I don't go to that church right now. His wife told me that because she was from a rich family and him not so much, but she said why she fell in love with him. They were, I think, part of an MBA program years ago. Years ago. She said it was because his shoes, they were always shined. Those of you that are Africans or Zimbabweans may know what I mean when I say shining shoes. The shoes were shiny. In Zimbabwe we used to use nugget. I think we called it nugget shoe polish. And the shoes were nice and clean. And she said he didn't have many clothes, but the ones he had, they were nicely ironed. They were clean all the time. And she fell in love with him. They've been together for years, happily married, right? So I'm not just saying you should go spend money that you do not have to buy clothes that you don't need. I'm just saying be kept. Take care of yourself. Take care of your skin. And some of us may need to lose a little weight. Again, don't go rob the bank. Do what you need to do. Eat right. Exercise. Nowadays, I feel like there's so much help. If you have insurance, if you have the money, Ozempic, go get Ozempic. I don't care. Do what you need to do. Depending on the field that you are, to be taken seriously. Sometimes you have to look. Guys, I used to be mad when people will tell me this. I'm like, no, you should just be accepted and show up the way. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But how do you think? So, this is how I process it. Like, I feel like how you look, it says something about you. It's building credibility, right? Because even for job interviews, why do we now dress up to go for job interviews or on our first dates, right? It's saying I can be trusted. I can be trusted. I can be trusted to take care of myself. Because how do you want me to trust you to take care of my $1 million company if you can't even take care of the most valuable thing you possess, your body? How do you want me to trust you? That's how these billionaires, that's how they are thinking when they are hiring you. Unfortunately for you, you need them because you need that job. They don't need you. There are a million of you, a billion of you, even. So you're the one in competition. Look, I've been involved in a process recently of hiring people, right? Hiring people. And you get thousands upon thousands of these resumes, right? What's going to make you stand out of 1,000 people? It's how your resume looks. So if you go to the interview and it's 1,000 of you and you were looking all scruffy, they're looking for who to eliminate fast. You're the one they are going to eliminate first because it's giving you can be trusted. You can be trusted with your own body. You can be trusted with your own teeth. You can be trusted with your own hair. You can be trusted. So how can I leave my whole company in your hands when you can be trusted with your own body? You know? So I just feel like this is where it hinges on. It says you can be trusted. And also, mm, some of us, we cannot afford to be that scruffy person. We cannot afford to be. For me, for example, when I'm really dressed up, I feel so powerful. Even my confidence goes up the roof. It goes through the roof. Even how my steps changes, how I walk into a room changes when I know I'm looking good. But when I'm just dressed frumpy, looking all crazy in a big old t-shirt. I hate t-shirts. I hate t-shirts. If it's a t-shirt, I want it fitted, with a V. It has to be stylish. When it's just all that big old round can't stand them. I feel like I have no structure. I can't even feel myself. I can't feel my waist, you know. But like when I'm really dressed up, I feel like I own the space. I will introduce myself with a firm handshake. Hi, my name is Isabel. Like it just gives different. And then like even how you smell, the fragrances, like man, I have one. For me, it's that Mademoiselle or Gabrielle, man, when I wear Mademoiselle, I feel like I can touch the universe, not just Earth, though, but the whole universe is on my head. That's how powerful I feel. I feel like I'm just floating in the floods, in the clouds. I mean, when I'm wearing Mademoiselle, Mademoiselle just it does the thing. It does the thing for me, man. So yeah, but yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. Look the part. Look the part. Dress how you want to be addressed. It's just as simple as that. Even at the airport. Have you heard stories, guys, of people that just get bumped to business class or to first class because of how they are dressed? They're not gonna put you in first class, bump you into first class with booty shots. I'm sorry, not sorry, but they just won't. They just won't. It's just, they just won't. And nowadays, we just dress anyhow. Anyhow, even going to the house of God, my people. Like, to me, it's like when you go, to each their own. Don't get me wrong, to each their own, especially when it comes to going to church. Dress however you want. My rationality, it's like when you're going to court. I don't even think they will let you in with booty shorts. There's decorum. There's a way you dress to go into court. Like you can't just show up with no shoes or flip flops in and just with your booty shorts on and some tank and no bra, whatever, and the big old, you know, like at home, I'm still working on it because sometimes I can't be bothered. I just have my big old head wrap on. I feel comfortable, but I'm working on that because I want if someone just drops by my house, like in Zimbabwe. I've been in America for too long. We used to just drop off at people's houses, Oh, I was in the area. Sometimes we would even leave a city, from one city to another without telling people, not calling anyone. I don't know if people still do that because now we have cell phones, okay? So just show up at someone's house. So help me, God, I want to live my life that way. If someone just say, oh, I was in the area, my room is all nice, everything is put together, I'm not quite there yet, my hair's nice, I won't be like, oh, let me go run and fix things or let me go run and change because someone is coming to their house. I want to get to that point, because even the Bible says your body is the temple. Your body is the temple, you know? How do you treat the temple? Do you just put any kind, even people, some people treat their cars better than their own bodies. You don't put any kind of fuel into a car, especially the newer the car or the better the model, like a Mercedes Benz. You just putting chunk in any kind of fuel. No, you don't, because it costed you so much. How about your own body? You only get one. You only get one. I'm speaking from the point of view of someone who hasn't been always kind to their bodies. I was just talking to someone, like, I had to go on a journey to heal and restore my teeth, because at some point I loved lemonade so much. So I would just drink lemonade instead of water. I remember even growing up, my mom, she would let me drink tea. She would let me drink mazoe instead of water because I just didn't like water growing up. And so I just carry it. I'm not blaming anything on my mom. My mom was a great mom. She was an amazing mom. And besides, mazoe was diluted, very diluted too, even. But I'm just saying, I did not grow up in a culture where I was encouraged to drink water. And, she did the best she knew with what she had. So growing up, I just hated water. And when I came to America, lemonade was cheap. And I realized, oh, so you mean I don't have to drink water? I can just drink lemonade. And that kind of took a toll on my teeth, on my enamel. And I had to go on a journey to eat things that would support the regrowing or remineralizing my teeth, or get the kind of care that I needed to remineralize my teeth or in my gums and stuff, you know. and get the kind of toothpaste that would help, because I wasn't always kind to my teeth. I wasn't always kind to my body. McDonald's, um, unfortunately for us, America, man, fast food is just cheap. Which doesn't it make you wonder, why is fast food so cheap? Because it's killing you. Because if it was good for you, why would it be cheap? You know? And yeah, there was a time when I wasn't so kind to my body. And I had, although for the most part, I've really tried to care for myself, because your body, you only get one, right? So, by the grace of God, but you know what? It's never too late to start. You can start today. You can start today. You can say, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, yeah, you didn't, but now you do. You've heard. So now start. What's that one thing that you're going to do? Just start with one thing. Obsess about one thing. There was a time too when I was just depressed and I couldn't get out of bed, and I was just struggling. However, what would get me out of bed is I would obsess about one thing. Sometimes it could have just been my teeth. I would just obsess about my teeth, and I will make sure, because I was obsessing about my teeth, I will care for them. I will brush them every day. And the change that I would see on my teeth, it would encourage me to do the next thing and the next thing. The next thing, I'm eating better. The next thing, I'm getting up, I'm making my meals, exercising. The next thing, the next thing. Like, just obsess up atomic habits. I shared with you guys about atomic habits. You know, start with one little thing, one tiny little thing. It doesn't have to be big. Rome was not built in a day. Start with one little thing and obsess about that one little thing. And then once you see the results of that one little thing, if it's your skin, just taking off your makeup, or even stop wearing it. You know, I don't have makeup today. The other days I did. Can you tell the difference? No, you can't. I was thinking maybe I shouldn't do live. I don't have makeup, but I was like, oh, who cares? I'll just go do it. I hope that doesn't come across as bluffing, saying, oh, my skin is great. I'm grateful for good genes and for God's grace and mercy, but I've also put in some hard work. But just start with one thing. Obsess about one thing. Maybe reading a page of a book a day. I don't know. Just obsess about one thing and be consistent and keep it going. And that's also what I'm doing right now with these lives. And I'm going to do them. Come rain, come thunder, come sunshine. We are here. God is good. All right. Bye, y'all. God bless you.